Nuclear power. It's a topic that often sparks controversy and concern, and understandably so, given its history of tragic events. But there's something surprising. Kenya is considering building its own nuclear power plant. Yes, you heard that right. In a continent where only South Africa has operational nuclear plants, Kenya is contemplating joining the nuclear club. But why? And is it a wise move or a disaster waiting to happen? You might be surprised to learn that nuclear power is actually a low-carbon and sustainable source of energy, and even the world's richest advocates for it.
I want to be super clear. In my opinion, Germany should not only not shut down the nuclear power plants, it should reopen the ones that shut down. And those are the fastest ones to restart. It's crazy to shut down nuclear power plants.
Stick around as we delve into the facts. Here in Kenya and Africa at large, some believe it doesn't make sense, while others argue this is the time to go nuclear. So let's look at it. Let's look at how nuclear power plants work and the risks involved. Let's find out why Kenya wants one, how to get one, and the economics of it all. But how does a nuclear power plant actually work? As a basic principle, it works like any conventional thermal power plant. Water is heated to produce steam, which is used to drive turbines which are connected to a generator that produces electricity. The key difference in power plants depends on the source of heat used to convert the water into steam. Conventional power plants burn coal to produce the heat, but that creates carbon emissions that contribute to climate change. They are, however, cheaper to run. Nuclear power plants, on the other hand, produce heat through a process known as nuclear fission. In nuclear fission, atoms of radioactive elements such as uranium are split apart. When the atoms split, a large amount of energy is released in the form of heat and radiation. The process of nuclear fission occurs in the nuclear reactor in a highly controlled manner to ensure no excess heat is produced. Excess heat could lead to a nuclear meltdown, which can be catastrophic as experienced in Ukraine in 1986. The heat produced is transferred to the steam generator to heat the water and produce steam. The steam drives the turbines, which in turn drives the generator that produces electricity. Water is widely used in nuclear power plants to control the heat. Most of the water used for cooling is recycled, but some of it ends up as water vapor, which is released to the atmosphere from the cooling towers. Radioactive elements such as uranium are used as fuel in nuclear plants, and while they are great for generating power, they are not so great for the environment. Even after their fuel is used up, the nuclear waste remains dangerously radioactive for thousands of years as they decay. Nuclear waste therefore requires very special storage, and most countries use deep underground storage facilities. The treatment of nuclear waste is a critical consideration raised by environmental activists and has led to a strong opposition to world's establishment of nuclear plants. Apart from their radioactive nature, nuclear waste can be mined for chemicals that can be used to make nuclear weapons. But with proper management, nuclear energy does have its perks. Let's look at some of the top advantages. First off, it's a low-carbon source of energy, which is a big deal for combating climate change. Secondly, nuclear energy is reliable as a long-term energy investment. Finally, nuclear energy is quite powerful and packs quite a punch when it comes to meeting our energy needs. So, how does Kenya go about getting itself a nuclear power plant? Well, it's a team effort kind of approach and a lengthy process. Nuclear matters in Kenya are handled by two bodies, the Nuclear Power and Energy Agency, which is responsible for the research, development, and implementation of nuclear programs in Kenya. There is also the Kenya Nuclear Regulatory Authority, which is in charge of nuclear safety, security, and regulation. And on the international stage, there's the International Atomic Energy Agency overseeing peaceful nuclear activities worldwide. It is responsible for the secure and peaceful uses of nuclear science and technology. On her part, Kenya has the following as her homework: develop a national nuclear policy, enacting a national nuclear law and establishing a regulatory body, enhancing the coordination among key stakeholders in the development of the nuclear power program, working with IAEA to assess the readiness for the introduction of nuclear power plants, identifying a site for the nuclear power plant along the coastal belt and conducting feasibility studies, launching a postgraduate course in nuclear and radiation safety. So far, Kenya has already signed pacts and agreements with nations such as the US to assist in setting up the nation's first nuclear power plant. If all goes to plan, construction is expected to begin in 2027 with a 1,000 megawatt power plant to be ramped up to 4,000 megawatts by 2035, which is almost a third of what Kenya is currently generating. As for where this nuclear plant will go, the coastal belt seems like a prime spot. Feasibility studies are currently underway in Kwale and Kilifi counties. Plenty of water and plenty of space are essential ingredients for a nuclear power plant. As mentioned earlier, a lot of water is used in nuclear power plants for cooling. So, what does all this mean for Kenya? Well, it's all about diversifying the energy mix. The current mix includes geothermal, hydro, wind, solar, biomass, and thermal sources. With demand on the rise, nuclear power could help fill the gap left by hydroelectricity. Nuclear power is a complex issue with both risks and rewards. Kenya's nuclear ambitions are ambitious, to say the least, but only time will tell if they'll pay off. What do you think? Will Kenya become Africa's next nuclear powerhouse? Do you trust the government assurances that all safety standards will be met? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. Thank you for watching.